Hello guys, Mr. Agophobia. Today I've got another Division 2 build for you. I've got a video of a build for the SHD Exposed global event. But if you like my content guys, like and subscribe. And let's get straight into this video. So our first piece of gear is a Hunter's Fury mask. So if you haven't used Hunter's Fury and you're new to the game, 2 pieces 15% shotgun damage, 15% SMG damage. If you use 3 pieces, 20% armor on kill and 50% health on kill. 4 pieces Apex Predator, enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So the mask, the core attribute is 15% weapon damage, attribute is 10% headshot damage, and the mod is 10% headshot damage as well. Our second piece of Hunter's Fury is the holster. The core attribute is blue, the attribute is 10% headshot damage. Our third piece of Hunter's Fury are the knee pads. Core attribute is a red, 11.5% weapon damage, that can be 15%. Attribute is 10% headshot damage as well. And then our final piece of Hunter's Fury is the gloves. Core attribute is a blue, and the attribute is 10% headshot damage. So the chest piece I'm using is a piece of palisade, which gives us 10% armor on kill for the first bonus. Core attribute is a blue. The attributes that I have on it is 8% weapon handling and 10% headshot damage, and the mod is 10% headshot damage as well. And the talent I'm using is Headhunt. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 125% of that killing blow's damage. Damage is capped at 800% of your weapon. This is raised to 1250% if your headshot damage is greater than 150%. So we're using shotguns because this global event, if you get a melee kill, it pulses the enemies. So I'm using the Sweet Dreams and another shotgun. So you get one headshot, you're just going to one-shot all the enemies after that. It's really easy. You'll see in the gameplay in the background because they changed the global event recently in the Project Resolve. So it does now, I'll show you on the screen as well, 10 times melee damage for the first melee hit after reaching 100% exposed. Stacks are acquired 50% faster, double pulse radius. Players take 65% damage instead of 115% from pulsed enemies. Non-pulsed enemies still deal full damage. So it's kind of different from it used to be. It's a lot better, but this global event is meh. It's not very good. Next global event next week, Golden Bullet, is fantastic. I'll make a build for you next week for that. But let's carry on. If you haven't got this chest piece palisade, I'd recommend using Chain Killer, the named Walker and Harris piece, because you get 5% weapon handling, weapon damage, and you get perfect Headhunter, which is more damage basically. But if you don't have the one that I've got, because it is pretty hard to get the chest piece I've got, the palisade one, just use the named Walker and Harris chest piece. So our final piece of gear is the backpack. I'm using Habsburg Guard, which gives us 15% headshot damage, because remember we need 150% for the max damage from Headhunter. So the core attribute is a red, 15% weapon damage. Attribute is 5% weapon handling. I still need to max that out, but it can be 8. We have 10% headshot damage, and the mod is 10% headshot damage as well. So all 3 mods for our mask, chest and backpack are 10% headshot damage mods. And then the talent, just for survivability, is Bloodsucker. Killing an enemy adds and refreshes a stack of 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Max stack is 10. And we have Firewall on as well, so when we do cover to cover we get 30% bonus armor as well. So we've always got survivability. We get 20% armor on kill from Hunter's Fury, and we get 10 from Palisade, so that's 30% armor on kill, which is always nice to have. So the primary weapon we're using, we won't be using this all the time, we'll mostly be using the other shotgun, but it's the Sweet Dreams. So core attribute is 15% shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, and 10% damage to targets that'll cover. And then the talent is melee attacks instantly kill non-elite enemies, which is good because there's a melee function in the global event with that is active now, the SHD Exposed. But those are the mods at the bottom. So the second gun that I'm using is another shotgun, which you won't really run out of ammo to be honest, but it's the military M870. Core attribute is 15% shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, 10% damage to targets out of cover, and the talent is Pummel. 3 consecutive kills refills the magazine and grants 40% weapon damage for 10 seconds. That's really good because you'll basically just one-shot all the enemies anyway, like you'll see. But more damage is always good. And it'll reload your magazine automatically, so it won't consume your reserves. So that's good as well. So the mods are at the bottom: headshot damage, and crit chance. And then the pistol I'm using is the Orbit. The named pistol, you can only get this from the Dark Zone, and named caches that you can get from the Season vendor, or you can buy them from the Countdown vendor, so remember that. So the core attribute is 15% pistol damage, 10% damage to targets out of cover, and the talent is Perfect Finisher. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% critical hit chance and 40% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. And those are the mods at the bottom. But you'll see me use this pistol like just a little in the gameplay as well. Like because of Headhunter, you'll one-shot the enemy with the pistol, which is always good. So the first skill I'm using is the Striker Ballistic Shield. You get this shield with the Firewall specialization. So it's tier 3 because we have 3 blue cores. You can change this build, like the cores, if you want to, because it's just a template. Remember, you can change it how you like. But it's tier 3 because I have 3 blue cores. So it's a bit tanky. The mods we have is 1% damage bonus per enemy, 5% active regeneration, and another 5% damage bonus per enemy. And then the second skill I'm using is the Decoy. I always use the Decoy on most of my builds, but you can change it to any skill you want really. But I just recommend Decoy because you know, it's like a distraction for them. They don't shoot you. But the mods are 7.5% duration and 7.5% health. So this is a quick breakdown. This is the overall build. We have 4-piece Hunter's Fury, which we get loads of damage from, 20% when you get a kill, and we get 20% armor on kill, so remember that. And we get 10% from Palisade at the top there, so we get 30% armor on kill. And we have Bloodsucker, which gives us 100% bonus armor, because 10 kills with this build is really easy because you'll one-shot all the enemies anyway. But we have 3 blues, we have 3 reds, and we have 2 shotguns, that you can see here. We have the Sweet Dreams. I'll just quickly go over it for you. And we have the M870. So these are the stats. So with the Sweet Dreams, it's 10% critical hit chance, 45% critical hit damage, but that's not important at all. Like, we don't care about the crits. It's just the headshot damage. Like, we needed 150% headshot damage. The Sweet Dreams has exactly 150% headshot damage, so you'll get max damage from Headhunter. So we swap to our M870, we have quite a bit more headshot damage. We have 178% headshot damage. So you'll hit hard. So I'll just scroll down the rest of the stats for you if you want to know them.
Flowing water, as evidenced by these images. At one point, more than 8 billion years ago.
So the specialization we're using is the Firewall, which is like one of the top 3 specializations. So we're using that is because we get the Striker passive talent when you deploy your shield. If they're in the cone, you'll get extra damage basically. And we get the talent Bull Rush, passive talent, 30% bonus armor during cover to cover, which SHD exposed when you do cover to cover, it pulses the enemies, which gives you more damage. So that's one of the reasons we're using this specialization as well. So, and we have 15% increased shotgun damage, 15% increased sidearm damage, and whichever weapon you want. I'm using 2 shotguns, so it's not really important for me. But if you want to use a different gun, you choose what category your gun is. So rifle, sniper, LMG or SMG, that's completely up to you. But that's the build that I've been using. And I've done it easily. I've got all the caches, I've got levels done, so it's pretty easy. But let me know what you think of the build in the comments. It's easy to make. I reckon you'll be able to farm this build within like an hour. But thanks for watching guys, and happy hunting.